Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing good. Whatever you did last night. Hope you guys have been safe since we last saw you guys. What I need you to do is one, make certain that you are sharing the live. Need to make certain that you guys are sharing the live with somebody that needs to hear some information about moving abroad. I know it is the middle of the day on a Saturday, but it is still the 12 days of relocation. And if you guys are interested in moving abroad, one thing you need to wrap your head around is actually it's going to take a little bit more than what you may have thought initially. There are a number of things when it comes to moving abroad that I think a lot of people aren't realizing that they are looking to take on. So the opportunity to cover some of these things in preparation for you, the person that is looking to move abroad, to get some of this information, these resources, these tools, these things that you can put into your relocation toolkit that will allow you to increase the probability of success. Now, what you are looking for when you are moving abroad is a high success rate. And many people, as you can see in the news or at least on the social media platforms, you're seeing people more and more moving abroad. But you are also seeing people not having the time that they thought they were. And you may be considering what that looks like for you, how to navigate positive opportunity versus an outcome that is not in your favor, where you're starting to see those stories come abroad on your platforms. And we want to give you guys an opportunity not only to hear from myself, other people on our platform, but for to ask questions. A lot of this is designed to help you, the person that is looking to move abroad, and get you guys some real information on some things that may be some pressing or burning topics that you haven't seen covered elsewhere. I can only go off of what it is that you put into the chats to be able to cater and cover to what may be on your radar. You have to realize that moving abroad is not your typical move. This is a completely different ball game and scenario, and we're going to get into some reasons why and how this is, and how do you do about navigating that. If you guys do not know who I am, my name is RJ Mood. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I have been living abroad going on the last 3 years, primarily based out of Medellin, Colombia. Myself, as well as my team of experts, have come together to help make the move abroad a lot easier for people that are looking to move. Because it is not just packing a bag, it is not just applying for a visa or navigating that, and it is not just choosing an Airbnb. It is so much more from a scenario of right now, where you are, haven't left the United States, the process of going about leaving the United States, but also what happens on the other side of the TSA? Are you successful after you went and sold everything that you've owned? Are you successful when you gave up your friends and your family and your lifestyle for what you think is what you want? But how do you get about going and achieving this bliss or peace that you're looking for? It is a lot more than what you may be thinking. So you're going to get real live information from experts on the ground that help you navigate cost of living, healthcare, these particular things when it comes based down to the location. But obviously, I told you there is so much more that goes into moving abroad. Obviously, visas are one thing. So we bring in our immigration lawyer. He'll be talking to you about visas, what it is that you need to know. But also, you are going to be covered as healthcare. A lot of people may have existing ailments or may just want to know general healthcare information. What is available to me? Does it cost a lot of money? Do I need insurance? And how do I go about getting insurance for global healthcare? These are all questions and concerns that you need to think about when considering moving abroad and where to. These other things are foundational things. We also bring on parenting abroad. So many people are looking to move with their children. But what does that look like? How do you navigate schools when you're used to sending your kid on a public school bus, going into the public school system, or maybe even private schooling? Bilingual schools, Montessori, international schools, these things are all options, but what does it look like and how do you navigate it? We bring on a parent that has actually made the move successfully by working with us, and she's going to be able to tell you guys exactly what she did, what you can do with your children, and what options you may have available. Also, we bring on one of the biggest things that people are asking me in my inbox, which is how do I make money online? How do I make money abroad? remote work, digital marketing, entrepreneurship, becoming a travel agent. There are so many different ways too, but how do you get started? And even putting them all into one place, we bring on our digital marketing and affiliate marketing expert to give you guys and help you, narrow down what you may be able to do to make money to live abroad online, because that is one of the biggest keys. How do I make US dollars globally? We'll talk about that. We also talk about how to take that money that you are essentially making in the United States, lower your cost of living, and present opportunities to build wealth. That may look like retirement. That may look like being able to purchase a property overseas. You have to understand that not just lowering your basic living is one thing, but putting it into places where the money that you are no longer spending on just rent and groceries, you can utilize it to build the life that it is that you want. Those things are going to be present, as well as student loans. We're bringing on a student loan doctor, and that is one of the biggest reasons many and more people are looking to move abroad. Student loan repayment, what does that look like? It is consistently and everlastingly shifting. How do you navigate the raising cost of what you may need to be able to pay back? We'll bring on a student loan doctor to do so and talk about what that looks like for you. We also will be talking to volunteering. Volunteering is very important. You guys don't realize that when you say, I want to move abroad, you're asking to become a part of a different community. You're asking for them to open their doors and accept you. Understanding the importance of volunteering, giving back, sharing resources. It doesn't just mean here's some money and here you go. Time, energy, education, effort. These things mean the world, and the importance of it when you are considering moving abroad will be brought to light. And then the last thing, which leads us into the topic that we are considering today, is coaching for expats. I told you it's not just what can I do to get you out of the United States. It's how do I give you at least some tools, if you aren't going to be connected to the community that I'm a part of, to get you through the things that you didn't realize that you were going to go through by moving abroad. Navigating a new culture, navigating a new language, a new pace of life, navigating what homesickness can look like. Yes, you might have lived away from your family or in different places in the United States, but let me tell you, the other side of the TSA, in the miles, the distance, time zones, depending on where you're going, these things will and can weigh on you. Building community. How do you escape or not be in a position to feel lonely moving abroad? Sold all my things. I made the move. I'm here. But I don't even have anybody to talk to. I don't even have anybody to just go grab a drink with, go watch the game, just have a normal conversation. I feel a little intimidated by that. How do you navigate that? So today's conversation is around some of these things, navigating loneliness and how not to fall into these pitfalls, navigating some of these things that when you are running out of the burning house that is America that you might have forgot, honestly. And it's okay that you might have been overwhelmed in looking to move, but it is not okay from your perspective to go without some of these things and conversations that we get into over the 12 days of relocation. Wherever you are, you will need to make certain that you are following us. This is important because you need to be notified when it is that we do go live. Let us get into it, because I don't want to keep you long on a Saturday. I want to do my best to get you in, get you out, and get you the information that we need. If you guys don't realize where you are on Black Expat Life Abroad. What we do in trying to give you guys some information is peel back the onion and the layers of moving abroad. It is a multi-layered process. You cannot approach it like it is something that you've done before unless you have done it. This is not the move from Philadelphia to Atlanta, from Philadelphia to Los Angeles, from New York to New Orleans. It is none of those. Those are all within the confines of the United States. So even though you may be going from the Northeast to the Southeast, these things are still in America. You aren't positioned to have to go into a completely new way of life, down to everything in your life. How do you navigate housing? What foods do you eat? So many people are moving abroad with allergies that they don't have outside of the United States. These things need to be examined with the fine-tooth comb, and understanding that I want you to be successful. And for you to be successful, you actually need to do a little bit more due diligence than what people are presenting as an opportunity to move abroad. There are so many reasons why people are looking to move abroad now. You have to realize that when people ask us questions from a business perspective, what are your demographics? And I'm like, this is almost like a pandemic. This is impacting everyone. People that are retired, people that are looking to retire, people that are actively working, people that are single, people that are moving or looking to move abroad with a family, people that have elderly parents that they may be looking to take. This is a wide scoped thing. And then it is also from a financial perspective, people with money and people without money are all in the same boat of, where do I go because this isn't working? We're seeing celebrities like, I'm out of the United States, so and so and so and so now live in Europe or now live over here because they're no longer dealing with the United States. I guess I have so many friends that are in the entertainment industry, and they're saying that, hey, the movies, they're moving from being filmed in the United States to filmed in Canada or filmed in Europe or filmed offshore somewhere that is no longer the United States. These things are impacting everybody. So when we look at these things of why are so many people leaving, there is a myriad of reasons why. Even coming down, and I always tell people, you guys are so interesting when you choose not to be upset about things that you don't think impact you. So many people don't realize that right now they're talking about even same-sex marriage being a question mark now, and is that going to be okay? And most people that aren't in a same sex marriage or same sex relationship will say, well, that doesn't impact me. And on the surface, you might think that, but not realizing that the reason why so many people that may not be married or are, but have been in a long term relationship have access to health care because of partner status is because of that. So many reasons why people are starting to look to move abroad, because even just basic and daily life is starting to look a little bleak or starting to look a little different. Obviously, the lines of people having to go and line up for food, the cost of living, even if you're not on assistance, is just getting a little too high. There's only 24 hours in a day. How many of them can you put to work and still need to eat and essentially live? The opportunity to live is getting slower. I mean, more and more compact around you as an individual American. So more people are looking into places and platforms like this on, how do I do this? I have to do this. And I need you in the same sense of feeling like you have to leave, or you're really feeling like you want to leave. Feel like you want to succeed. Somebody else's lotto ticket doesn't cash your inheritance. It just doesn't. Just because you saw somebody jump out of the United States, they say, I packed a one-way bag. They say, I picked a place based off of what ChatGPT gave me. I wanted to be by the beach, and I sold everything I owned, packed a one-way bag, and I landed, and it was the best thing ever. Now, they definitely, regardless of whatever the post is, had some challenges within that they may not share on the post. But even if that happened, the likelihood of it happening with you, you're talking about a low probability experience. Those things aren't high probability things that somebody that is in a relocation perspective would tell you to go do. Can it work? Sure. Yes. But I tell you guys, you also know the big five, the mega ball, the powerball, the mega millions, whatever the lotto is in the United States. People win, and people will go line up and get tickets. It's $5 billion. We're gonna go. It's my chance. It's just $1, and you go and you go and you go, and you never the person that wins. It's the exact same concept, and you have to realize that so many people are basing lotto wins of moving abroad that they've seen on the internet and putting it into their relocation toolkit of, all I need is just to pick a place and pack a bag. I'll figure it out when I get there. And then they're not realizing that the headlines and the stories, the things that they're seeing when they go to look to move abroad that are negative, somebody getting drugged, somebody getting robbed, somebody getting scammed, these are all because those people did that. But the story doesn't tell all of that. That's why I'm here to give you some clarity on what it is that you're seeing, because these questions and comments come into my inbox. And realizing that just figuring it out on the way down, one of the biggest things into your success plan is community. Who all gonna be there when you get there? What's all there when you get there? How does the community actively live without you being a part of it? Now, you might be a very extroverted person. You might be the life of the party starter, whatever it is that you might be, that'd be fine. But to assume that you are going to go and be the one catalyst that starts a community and it be exactly what you want because you just answered it yourself, that's very audacious of you. You really need to understand that these community levers, the things that you finally, not finally, but you have closed off in the United States, these things are the way is going to balance you in this abroad life that you are looking to live. Now, you might say, well, I'm going to meet everybody and everybody's going to be great. No, no, that is a lie. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want you to hear that. There are people in plenty of communities, good communities, okay communities, whatever, that are just not going to be your cup of tea. We're just humans. Nobody's asking you to be in a scenario where you love everybody and you want to go hang out with everybody. I'm not saying that. But you will find so much kindred spirit in the right communities, and that's why it's like, well, what is the right community? You can avoid being lonely by fostering relationships and fostering connection where you are right now. You don't have to wait for this. People are actively in the chats having a good time saying, "Oh, well, I'll be here so and so. I'll be here in a month. Oh, well, next month we're actually doing this. So make sure you hit us up when you come down." Do you know them? No. But this abroad lifestyle is based off of community. One, a people of maybe people that came together that are all from the same place, living in one place. But then there's also the community of the local community, what that looks like. That's why I mentioned volunteerism to you. You would be surprised. The reason why so many people go and be alone is because, one, they're closed off to new experiences and new people. So they are only wanting to meet local other Americans, other Black Americans. That right there is also a recipe for disaster, in my opinion, because you are going to ruin you just want America in another place. One of the funniest things, I was traveling and it was over New Year's, and I was in Mexico, and I ran into a fact that it was like it was no Americans really there. It was just a bunch of Canadians, and I thought that was just interesting. And I was talking to one of them, and I had a question because I never really understood the dynamics of like Montreal, French Canada, what that was, and everything else. And pretty much what the Canadian guy told me was the French Canada is pretty much France in Canada. Like they speak French there. Like they've got French food, French. The culture is French. It's pretty much France in Canada. And I said, damn, like that's crazy. And I was like, America doesn't really have that, and it probably is good, but it's just like you guys are looking to get rid of America. Say, I'm done with all of it. I don't want anything to do with it, but only want to go deal with America in another country, which is a flaw by design. So, understanding and how to proceed navigating loneliness. Some people say, well, do I need Spanish? Yes. Yes, you do, if you are going to a Spanish speaking country. Some people might say, we can get by without it, or I use my translator. But I'm like, when you get outside of the United States, from the bubble of the United States, using a translator during the conversation, like a translation app, seems like the most genius idea. It's on some Jetson shit. Like, oh shit, I'm in the future. Like, I'm look, oh, I can get even the headphones. Even the headphones, that'll dominate. It will help. But you eventually want to get off of the headphones. You eventually want to get off of the translator. These things aren't, let me do this for the rest of my life. These are, okay, let me navigate this conversation and understanding what I'm asking, what is being translated, instead of just putting it in a translator and then putting my phone in somebody's face. Why don't I try to say what it is that I am looking to communicate? You would be surprised because in America, people be like, bro, come on, come on, come on. Nobody's not like trying to help you with the words if you're not don't really speak English. Whereas abroad, Spain, not Spain, but at least in Colombia, Mexico, people will applaud you at least trying. And that right there is going to start triggering your brain. Therein unlocks some of the biggest fun that you'll have when moving abroad. Because if you can navigate the language or the culture, understanding from a loneliness perspective, there's an entire country of people that you now have access to. There's an entire way of life and activities and cultural celebrations. I'm in Mexico right now, and it was the Day of the Dead. And culture, I'm talking about cultural celebrations. And the Day of the Dead is dope, right? Because we get it, but the words, the name of it could scare somebody. So I was talking to my uncle, and he was like, "Oh, no, how's Mexico?" I'm like, "It's cool right now. Whatever the case is, Day of the Dead's coming up." Now, mind you, prior to this conversation, he said, "Hey, your grandmother's birthday is on Monday. She would have been 92 years old. Woo, woo. My cousin that lives there, in South Carolina, I guess he goes to her grave and puts flowers on there." So he was just telling me about that. And then we happened to come up on the Day of the Dead, and he was like, "What the heck is that?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, it's cool." And he was automatically turned off by the name, by the thought process from what America told him, and putting the Day of the Dead as something that he was thinking zombies or like some occult, and not realizing that you were damn near describing what the Day of the Dead is. You want to give reverence and remembrance to the people that it is that passed, that are no longer here, in celebration of their life and their value and what it means to you. And when he heard it, he was like, "Oh, okay. Okay, all right." And so many people aren't willing to even hear, never mind lower their drawbridge and get any of that information. So when it comes down to loneliness, a lot of it is in you. Somebody messaged me that today. A lot of that peace that you're looking for, it starts with you, because you can't be open. Your energy is going to give off negativity. So I get that negativity is something that is hard to navigate in the United States. It's always something. Every time you turn around, it's always something. But I do my best to try to prepare you guys before you leave. Even when I talk to people that are local people and they ask me, "What is it that you do?" And I'm like, I do my best to try to prepare people before you see them in your neighborhood, at your grocery store, at the local event, whatever the case is. That way, when they are in front of you, they hopefully have a little bit more skills in navigating your culture, your language, how to learn and educate themselves about where they are, what to do, what not to do, how to carry themselves. It's not about shrinking yourself. It's about understanding. The American thought process and bravado is, "I'm American. You are welcome that I am here." And we, even Black Americans, have that thought process even in a scenario in the United States. Oftentimes, people will say, and this is general, nothing to do with Black people, just, "Well, nobody's going to talk to me in a certain way, or I'm going to yell, or I'm going to be loud, or I'm going to, the customer is always right. I'm going to send my food back." And then in the United States, some of those things might work. And then overseas, they may not work the same grease that you have. You don't order what you don't want. And if you don't want it, you still have to pay for it because it is on the cost of the restaurant. Navigating these things can make you go from, "Oh, I had a great time because I understand," or "Everything seemed like friction." So I think that many times when we get into how people end up becoming lonely, it's because, one, they're expecting it to be French Canada. They expect America where they are. They expect the ability to succeed. And when I don't mean just be there, I mean succeed. So you are excelling past just bare necessity. When they factor that in, they don't factor in that means becoming a part of community. It means understanding who you are, understanding what it is that you are here for, because you have to get that value on you to understand how to be a part of the community, how to turn away from who you were in the United States versus who you will be on the other side of the international waters. You guys are thinking that I'm the same person that I was 3 years ago. The person that I was 3 years ago would not be in front of you talking about what it is that I'm talking to you about right now. I do group travel and everything else. The last time you see me talk to you about group travel and not relocation, go look on the platform. It's been a long time. Because this is a lot more important. This is one of the most important things that our people have the ability to do. This is one of the most important things that I've seen legacies shift. So many people talk about leaving a legacy. What does that look like? I've seen legacy shifts. People being able to do things that they weren't able to do, or just live. So there was a conversation going on in the WhatsApp group last night, and it was like, it went far left. It went far left. But one of the biggest things I had to point out, and I was like, It's interesting to see Americans when it comes down to money and how so many people, and has to do with loneliness, both abroad as well as in the United States, because so many people are like, money is my motivation. They change money to bottle caps tomorrow, you will see Americans hoarding bottle caps. They are actively devaluing the dollar at the same time. Cryptocurrency is becoming something that is might as well be a bottle cap because it doesn't even you can't even touch it. It's all digital. These things are now happening and not realizing that still, even with the writing on the wall, so many people are still putting their entire life into getting all of the money that allows them all of this stuff. And so many people are wearing that as a badge and moving abroad and thinking that people care about your money. Nobody really cares. There's a guy who was like, yeah, I made $8 million and I lost it because of so and so. And it's like, okay, this is not even a chat for financial statements and bank accounts. Nobody cares about how much money you have and or had. It is more so about who you are. And a lot of people, I don't want to say a corner statement, but I'm like, you want to wear your bank account on your body. America has told you, look at me. I got on all Dior. I got on the road. I got on a Cuban link. I have on what is that Van Cleef chain bracelet, and I got on a bust down Rolly, and my shoes cost $1,000. Don't I have value, y'all? And you guys are moving, not realizing that nobody cares. You're saying to me, is it safe? Because I say, yo, don't come here wearing any of that. It's not safe for me to wear that. No, it's not safe for you to wear that. It's also really arrogant, and you don't even have the money that you're presenting, and you want people to think that of you. So when some people are moving and it's coming out that they're lonely, it's oftentimes because they're in a place where their values aren't valued in that place. That's why I tell people, listen, if you want to go live a certain lifestyle, you should go to where that is accustomed to. And understanding, hey, they're doing this, they're flying, they're throwing money in the club. That is something that they're doing there. Don't come to another place asking where can I go do what I can't afford to do in the United States here. I'm like, people don't do that here. You are going to be lonely looking for that. People aren't going to want to be around you. You're going to be in a community that is actively having a great time around you. They won't be inviting you to stuff. People will be like, damn, it's a bunch of pictures and I didn't even know about this. Yeah, we didn't tell you. Not because the community isn't inviting and welcoming, but do you know how many people are complete turnoffs? And it's just like you have to also consider, and that's why I'm like, how many people can I reach with the message that needs to be heard? Not because I'm the only one saying this, but I get the feedback from the groups, and it's like if you could prepare people more before they even got here, everybody would have a better time, including the person that ended up being an asshole and once they got there. Loneliness may come down to how much you are willing to change about yourself. And I don't mean that as shape shifting. You can't be who you are today. Like, you're funny, if you're, caring, like, those things are core values and things that people care about globally. But showing and showcasing your wealth, many things aren't as valued in other places. Now, if you go to maybe Dubai in the Middle East, where all the, $50,000 plus a month guys want to link up. And don't get me wrong, because even in Medellin, there's the guys that are that too. We all make $80,000 a month, so we're in a group together. I'm like, okay, we make dollars. And who are we? Are we a bunch of douchebags? These things are where the concern is. So many of you are still in America trying to figure it out and not realizing that, am I going to be lonely? The better question is, am I going to be open to learning, to not knowing everything and being taught or navigated through by somebody who does? That is a question only you can answer. The loneliness factor comes in because a lot of people are closed off. If you were by yourself in Colombia and you went to, you were staying at a hotel and you knew a little bit of Spanish, or you were open, places have so many different things. I know in Colombia they have language exchanges at even if you're not staying at a hostel, you can go to a hostel. They'll have like a language exchange and a happy hour, meet and greet. Meet people all over from the world. These things are getting you acclimated because you don't realize, even if you're a grown person, if this is your first time moving abroad, I'm sorry to tell you, because it was me too. But you are a baby. There are if you're 40 years old and it's your first time looking to move abroad, like for real, there are going to be 20-year-olds that you meet that have been doing this since they were 15, 16 years old, depending on where they're from. There are going to be people that you will meet that is like, you know so much and how to navigate. How are you a polyglot? Which fluent in 4 or 5 different languages. Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around Spanish and you are fluent and it's not your first language. You have 3 other ones outside of that. That is impressive. And you start to realize that your life was lived in a bubble. And then to take that bubble and bring it with you. So navigating loneliness comes down to a lot of what you are willing to do, how you are willing to navigate what peace looks like for you. Yes, it does also come down to where you choose, but understanding what your values are. That's why you guys are going to get this. It'll be coming out soon. But right now, all you have to do is go get a blank piece of paper, draw a line straight down the middle. On the left-hand side, I need you to be very specific about what it is that is going on in America that you are looking to give up. Very specific. Write it down one by one, put 1, 2, 3, whatever the number of them is, write them down right now. Once you start writing, you can always come back. Something else might come up you after you done put them out and got them out your head, something else might come up. Go write that down on that piece of paper. So that way, on the left-hand side, you can see this. You can visualize this. This is a part of how do I get my peace. Visualize what you are looking to leave. Seriously. Now, on the right-hand side, you're like, well, what am I put over there? The right-hand side is what you want. What you want, where you want to live. Like in regards to, I want a place that I can do this. I want a place where the police don't feel like they're going to go after me just from being a citizen. Whatever it is, if you are LGBTQ, I want a place where same-sex marriage is legal and I can live with my partner and be perfectly fine. Whatever it is that you are looking for, put that on the right-hand side and do the exact same exercise. Number it, go put it down, walk away from it, go to sleep, wake up, might say, oh, I also want this, and put that down. And then I need that piece of paper to start becoming your best friend, because when you open your relocation toolkit, that's going to be on top always. That is always a reminder. It's a reminder both now where you are, when looking to move abroad. It's a piece of paper that you could put anywhere into a bag that you end up going to take 3 years later. Go look at the piece of paper, reflect on what it is. Did you get to where it is that you want to go to? Are these still the same reasons? This is about how do you put the pieces together to navigate not just the loneliness, navigate even becoming a part of the community. This is so important because it will be the determination on whether or not you go and leave and go back home, or go and stay, or go to be a part of another community. You guys didn't realize there were so many options that this way it could go for you. You could definitely go back home. Or you could go and start in your first place. And once you get the understanding of who you really are in this world versus who America told you were, and then go to another location. You pull up your what I'm done with, what am I looking for? And now you reevaluate it based off of the knowledge of having moved abroad, knowing what it is, if the things that you are looking for are realistic in places. And then you go with the knowledge that you made from the first time. You have the ability to change your life. I saw something the other day and it said, I didn't come from a Spanish speaking family, but a Spanish speaking family will come from me. And I thought that was dope. Not because of Spain, because Spain is they're colonizers, English, French, all of that. But not that. It was more so like, who are you? What have you done as of right now? Do you have family? Are you looking to have children? Are you looking to even positively impact other people? Never mind you having kids. I say that is because right now in America, you are on the path of what America will allow you to do, what America you can get done, all of these things here. But what I am seeing is people that are moving abroad are starting and forging paths that what they thought was their value and what they were shooting for in America, they have shot way past that and looking at things that actively make more sense to their life calling, their life value. And it's an understanding that this is not even something that they even had on their radar. For example, prime example, me sitting in front of you right now. Like I said, I have a telecom business. We have a travel agency. We can make money. But this is such an important thing. And I realize that when we go and however this works out, people are going to remember at least that I did my best to help my community. And that wasn't on my radar. My legacy has now going to shift from what it was going to be to what it now is and what happens from today and continuously on going forward. Do you realize how impactful that is for me, my family, the people that are close to me? Never mind the people that are actually being impacted. I may not have children in my lifetime, but something that actually can help others is going to be here that wasn't there before I left. That right there, your path is going to be different. It might look different for you, but understanding that the legacy that you have and the value, it's wrapped up in a bunch of things that you might determine once you leave and don't have America's weight on you. That's exactly what I want. But find out first. Don't just take it at face value. Don't just say, "Hey, it's the grass is blue and the sky is green," and you just thinking that blue is green and green is blue, and somebody finally wakes you up and says, "Hey, bro, you really don't have to be like that." It's not actually the truth. You may have thought that your entire life, and that's perfectly fine because you weren't given the information. But now, with given the information, what do you do? How do you navigate that? These things are all important to navigate and understand when considering loneliness, community, getting ready for moving abroad. Your quality of life is one of the biggest things that is going to have a shift if you are doing and adhering to the things that we're outlining here. People are looking for a quality of life. People don't even have that. They're just almost robots. Depending on what situation you are, you might have to work two, three jobs just to make ends meet. 80, 90, 100 hours a week. Think about how many hours are in a day, times that in 7 days, time, and take 100 hours of that. How much time do you have left to actually do things? Never mind transportation, getting to and from these places. Nobody factors that in as well. How many hours do you have to ability to just be who you are? Everybody, when they go wake up in the morning, hopefully you brush your teeth. And you brush your teeth, you look in the mirror. You look in the mirror, and one of the things I remember as a kid, my dad used to say to me, when I look in the mirror, I don't see little. My name is Roger, by the way, but he says I don't see little Roger. I see big me, little me. And so many of y'all look into the mirror and see the little version of you, and to ask yourself, did you think that you would be where you are today at the age that you are? The little one, the one that dreamed, the one that thought, the one that, was like, I'm going to be a this and I'm going to be a that. Before the world and the scuff got on them, are you where you thought you were? Do you still have hope to hopefully get something that feels like now my living is quality? This is why a lot of people are looking to move abroad, but not understanding that people are like, well, my cost of living is going to go down. And Corey, our financial expert, said it's so great. And it comes down back to mindset. All right, let's say you make $5,000 a month after taxes. Cool. Let's say your monthly bills are $5,000 a month, right? Boom. You move abroad, they go down to $2,000 a month. That's $3,000 a month that you now have that are not going towards your bills that you already had earmarked. You're making the exact same amount of money. You would think, boom, that's $3,000 a month. I can do X. You can do save, you can invest, you can take some of that money, save and invest. You can take some of that money and uh, get services that you may not be able to get, whatever the case is. But she said it can also come down to mindset because some people will go below that $3,000. Some people with their ability to become the things that they can't become in the United States go become them. A lot of moving abroad is a very reflective moment in who are you for real? When you look in the mirror, who are you? If you had money, would you be a different person? If you had money, would you not be compassionate? Would you not be caring? Would you flaunt it in a way where people that don't have money would be like, you're arrogant, ignorant? Would you? You might not know yet. So many people when moving abroad, they're like, man, I gave them $100 and they gave me all this money. In Colombia, it gets real crazy. Let's call it 4,000. It goes up, goes down, but let's call it 4,000 to 1. $100 is 400,000 pesos, give or take, right? So you get 400,000 pesos. Most people they go get three. Give me $300. That's usually what people get on they take on the travel. So three is 1.2 million pesos. I got a million. I got a million pesos. Oh man, this $2, this 2,000 peso is not even a dollar. Now, the money that you can't afford to throw in the United States and the club and, wherever you want to go and the PC people throw money, now you can throw money in another country because it's a couple quarters. Is that who you really are at the core? Because your quality of life is going to need to be reflective of realistically who you are. Well, now I got the money to go live in an expensive penthouse. Now I got the money to go live here. And it's like, you can spend whatever you want. People think that these places are really third world countries. I hate that America even came up with that word, coined it, made it popular, let it walk around for so long without correcting it. Because third world country means a completely different thing to me than it does to most Americans. When I think about third world countries, I think about the quality of life of their citizens. And considering the quality of life of Americans, overworked, federal minimum wage doesn't allow you to afford any place in the United States as far as a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. Like, it's absolutely outrageous. Never mind, you can't afford to get sick. And when you do get sick, you don't have enough money to pay to get better. The food quality is outrageous. The police scenario is militarized against their citizens. Are they protecting communities or protecting business? There's so many things and values that would looking at another country, if you didn't tell them and it was America and they said this is what goes on, they would say that must be a third world country. And you go, haha, it was America the whole time, like a Scooby-Doo movie. And you're like, wait, this is because when you look at the other places, at least from a citizen perspective, people are able to get better. You'd be surprised. It's like, yo, you go to Colombia and gym memberships are expensive, or you go to Planet Fitness, $10 a month, whatever the case is. But where do you see multiple places? They have them spread out in a number of places in the United States, but middle of America, doubt it. Never mind, not everywhere in every spot has these things. Colombia is not playing when it comes to people being healthy. Walking is a big thing just in general. There's a lot of hills and valleys and things of that nature. But one of the coolest things when I first started going to Colombia was they have workout equipment like on the street. Like, yo, you can really go get like a whole like joint going on the street. Like, and people will be like, nah, I'm gonna get a workout. You'll see people like in regular clothes, like, nah, you know what? That was my sign. And just start working out. Pull ups, sit ups. They have literal weight equipment that you can, like, the machine weights on the side of the street. Never mind perfect weather to be able to enjoy it all of the time. So many people right now, like right now, it's hot enough for me to have this t-shirt on and nothing under it because it's too hot. I got on shorts. It's 85 degrees where I'm at right now. It is probably cold, rainy, dreary, wherever it is that you are. You guys are going into a season of where a lot of people don't realize that they are going through seasonal depression. The daylight savings time, which is the most antiquated thing that America still keeps doing, it is now upon you. And what that means is you may be going to work when the sun is not out. And then by the time you get off, you don't see the sun either. And you do that for 6 months. People forget that we are human. Before society said go to work every day and everything else, we are human. There's basic things that we need. You ever been to a doctor and they said you don't get enough vitamin D? Well, I only got 15 minutes to walk outside and walk around, but it's also 20 degrees when I'm at work. So how much sun am I going to get in the middle of the winter in Philadelphia, the Northeast, wherever it is that you may be? Like, these things are not on the other side. So they factor into your lack of quality of life. Whereas if you are able to unplug, your quality of life can start looking better. But if you go and take that $3,000 now that your bills aren't here and just, well, let me just go get a place that costs this much now. Let me go start spending and doing things that I don't do now because everything is so much cheaper. But I always tell people, no matter if you make $1 million a year, let's call it $20,000 a month in California, and you make $10,000 a month in Florida. If y'all both at the end of the month have $500, y'all have the same spending power. Y'all have the same spending lifestyle. Your basic needs are the exact same cost, rent, and everything else. And a lot of people, and this doesn't even have to do with moving abroad, a lot of people give more money, and it comes down to the mindset and they say, well, I'm getting more money, so that means I can afford more. I pay $1,000 a month, I can now pay $1,500 a month. And with that, you are always putting your value and you're turning your time for more stuff and things. And this quality of life, Yes, you can eat better. Yes, you have the ability to go outside and it be nice all year long. But if you don't go, if you go to Colombia or Mexico and only eat terribly, you have to put the food in your body. If you don't eat fruit, if you don't drink water, then how are you going to get the quality of life? But that has come about the mindset shift. Do you want it? Do you want to be able to eat fruit? Do you want to be able to walk? Do you want to be able to not be on all of those medicines? My homegirl, she was like, she was like, I got an autoimmune disease. And when I was in the United States, I'm on 1,000 different medications. I moved abroad. I started eating fruit. I started walking more, like more fruit, fresher fruit. Because fruit is expensive in the United States. It's absolutely outrageous. I saw the guy, he had 4 lemons. He was like, yeah, these 4 lemons, yeah, they cost me $5. I'm like, $5 for 4 lemons? What in the lemon? You can't even make lemonade out of that problem. That's BS. The cost of just eating healthy, and then that has got its weird situation. All of these were on her body and was like, nah, moved abroad, didn't have to take all those medications. Started moving better. I'm allergic to peanuts. Now I don't play with peanuts, but I know people that have food allergies that do not have those allergies abroad because the food is bad. So depending on where you're going, they can slap a label on organic and be like, the food's good. It's organic. Not realizing that is a paid partnership sponsored by FanDuel. Like that's how sad some of the stuff is in America, where it's like they will sell you pure athletes. Say, hey, the NBA has the best athletes at all time. At the same time, watching them endorse alcohol and brands that aren't anything that an athlete needs to be standing next to. It is the most outrageous thing. Even when I go back to the United States, we talked about getting off of medication and how that works on quality of life. Do you realize? Because everybody that is watching this has been sitting at home and sitting there and they're like, do you have the bubble guts? Like, oh, here they go again. Some new drug they're coming out with, some new something to fix something, and then you hear all the side effects. Like, I got bad hangnail issues, so you targeting me, but I'm gonna risk having bad guts, hair loss, swollen chest to get rid of hangnails, and it's a whole commercial. It's so many people afflicted by hangnail syndrome that y'all got a whole commercial pushing one drug that making it seem like it's a lifestyle choice to be on this drug and have leaky bowels for the rest of the week. What? Then you go abroad and you're like, well, you know what I haven't seen? I haven't seen a medicine commercial. Yeah, they don't have those, my brother and my sister. A lot of places don't have these things. Healthcare is not designed to be, and this is no shade to anybody that is a medical salesperson, but the whole thought process that a company, a drug company, can go and influence doctors to position certain drugs as valuable to you should be a criminal practice. That should be a lawsuit, like, but it's an entire business. It is an entire business model. You can't go at home. I'm watching right now. Pfizer is sponsoring something with the college. Pfizer is sponsoring college football. Like, what are we doing in realizing that yes, your quality of life is going to change drastically if you are open. Yes, I just pointed out that you was like, hold on, you might be onto something, because why the hell do I see all of these medicine commercials all the time and not realizing that this is designed just to keep you getting just enough better to keep paying. And then once you're going. You start all over. We've been inundated and with buy since we've been children. Oh, let's go over to the little store. Everybody's ability to in a capitalistic society is thinking that they're going to be the next person that gets to the $1,000,000 or the $1,000,000,000 or what now is in the room is a big T, $1,000,000,000. We want to see the first person that has become a trillionaire in front of us, and we know people that people are stepping over that don't have a house, a home, and food to eat. These things are all realistic thought processes that are going on in the United States. So when we talk about the quality of life, there are different things that you need to consider when moving abroad that you don't realize that you are under duress right now with. So, do you have access to quality food? Many places, the top places that you guys are looking at, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, South Africa, these are all places where quality food exists fresh fruits, fresh meats. You would go in the market or the grocery store and say, where's the bag rice? They don't have it, bro, because they're not giving you BS. And I said that to myself because I asked where the bag rice was when I first got there, and I was like, they're like, we don't have that. What are you asking for? Yeah, it's Mexican rice in a bag. It's got all the seasons in it. All you gotta do is just pull out some water. They're like, we have a bag of white rice. There's a bag of brown rice over there. There's some seasonings down there. You can go get that. And you will be like, oh, I'm actually not supposed to be eating that. You're actually not supposed to be able to go to the grocery store. Tomorrow will be Sunday. So many of you guys will go to the grocery store tomorrow and will shop for the entire week. Bread, fruits, veggies, meats, everything goes all for the entire week, right? Hell no. Nah. Hell no. Nah. The preservatives and that is the exact reason why you can go shopping for a week and a half at one time and get all of this stuff. Never mind the cost of it. But why the hell is the shelf life so long? The places when we go having to go shop, we can't shop for no 1 week. They might as well just light some money on fire because the food won't be good. And you might say, well, I don't want to go to the grocery store every week. So you just want to put the shelf life into your body. Quality of life is all about what you're willing to do and where you go. Because you can still eat terribly in Colombia, Mexico, Panama, South Africa. These things are all legit. You may be having access to things. We talk about your basic needs and what your costs can go down to. You might be having access to things that better your quality of life. One of the biggest things that resonates with me in my head when you talk about access to services that you could not receive, people are looking to move abroad. So many parents are like, okay, I got my kids, I got to clean the house, all the basic things that they got to do in the United States. But that doesn't also give them time. You forget that although you are a parent, you are still a person. When you go brush your teeth, be like, look, there goes dad. You're like, no, there goes RJ. I was a kid at one point, raising these kids now as an adult. And you have to remember that because the ability to better your quality of life in your kids. So I know when I first moved, having the ability to not have to worry about food in the morning. So I had somebody in the house. They were able to cook breakfast and lunch. That was good because sometimes I get so busy making sure that I was like, cool, I don't have to take time in a busy schedule. I just got the food there, able to get it clean, make sure the house was tidy, laundry. These services with my lowered expenses were now available to me. I didn't go and say, let me go now take that extra money and let me go get the biggest, brightest house. So every time they see me, they're like, man, he's living great. That wasn't where my value was. My value was, okay, how do I better my quality of life by making certain things, taking things off my plate and impacting somebody positively. I was able to pay a person a full-time salary for that position, and they were only working part-time. I didn't have something for you to do every day for 8 hours. But, it was something like, how do we make this make sense? That was something that I was given access to. Kelly was saying, yeah, now I'm able to, spend time with my friends, other adults, because I'm not just with my kids 24/7, and they're able to go hang out with other kids. It's a mutually beneficial scenario. These things have to be intentional regarding to where do you put your intention? What is it that will make better sense of you? Oh, well, I'm able to go and do yoga or go and finally get a haircut, whatever it is that you want to do. Now that this is taken care of and it's positively impacting somebody because you've created an income for somebody that didn't maybe have an income. It is all beneficial, but you have to be intentful for it. Navigating even that is a whole nother topic when it comes down to hiring people in your house. Those things are best served with working with an agency that way because each individual location will determine different labor laws, different employment factors that you navigating on your own are going to be rather difficult. So my best advice for people that are looking to is work with a local agency. That way, everything is very crystal clear and you have the peace of mind that you are looking for in considering that this is how do you go about bettering your quality of life. A lot of people also, one thing I will tell you and caution you, this is a general warning for anywhere. You can take this to any location that you are looking to go. And I repeat, don't. So I don't care if a realtor hates me or not. Do not go and give any realtor 6-7 months of payment up front. Just don't do it. Do not. I don't care what you told, unless you know them. But if you know them, the likelihood of them asking 6, 7 months is probably unlikely. You just don't know. I'm seeing so many stories come out, and I want people, when they're looking to better their quality of life and saying, well, I've got to get the place. It's at the perfect price point. If I don't get it, they got somebody looking. That's the oldest book trick in the book forever. Second of all, what is for you and not anything else. Please know that it's not anything from like church, but it's the truth. We exchange energy. The energy that is for you is for you. What is for you is for you. It is already written. It's just going to happen. It is what it is. But you need to understand that what is for you. So if the place ain't going to be available, and they need $7,000 up front, then you know what? The place wasn't for you. The place wasn't for your family. Reason being is because you give 6, 7 thousand. That might seem normal in the United States. Oh, you got to pay first class of security. So if your place is 2,500, that's $7,500 you got to come up with. So $7,500 in the normal, and that just cover you first class of security. You say, okay, cool. Well, that's $7,500. It's the $7,500 I would come up with if I had to go move in a place in the United States. So that's $7,500. It's the 6 months of rent that I would be paying. So it seems like the same trade-off value. And the reason why it's not is because that is a completely different place. That is a completely different thing. You are now getting into a relationship with your landlord $7,500 deep. You don't know if when things break, are they going to be responsive? You don't know if they even going to fix it. They got $7,500, and $7,500 goes a lot further. In many of these places, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, South Africa, Thailand, bruh, please stop. Take your time. I know you're overwhelmed, but your quality of life determines this. Your success rate of moving abroad determines this. Imagine jumping out of a burning house into a burning lake. That is what you guys are possibly positioning yourselves to do. From one place to another, from the frying pan into the fire. What? Please take your time. Understand that you need to start this right now. It's Saturday, wherever it is that you are. Start it right now. Start listening and adhering to some of these things. Go back. It's a Saturday. If you ain't got nothing to do this. This is your research. You can go on Black Expat Life Abroad YouTube channel. Just listen to any of them. Pick any of them. Any of them. Don't even matter. I do my job and I do my best to do it well. So you can pick any of the videos on there and you're going to get some information that you need. You're going to get some things that you didn't hear on this time that you need to hear and further understanding about what you need to do, where you are, on the other side, inside of America. Things are shifting, guys. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if they're going to start doing one-way move abroad cruises out because you can't trust the air traffic controller because they haven't been paid in months. I don't know any of that. I'm just preparing you guys to understand that everything that happens is only going to start when it comes down to you. Yes, this stuff is out of your control. What you can control is you. Who are you? What are your values? What am I leaving? What am I looking for? How do I take that list out of my head and put it into paper so I can see it and then utilize it to navigate where it is that I am going? And with what intent am I going there? Am I going with the same intent that my Louis Vuitton and my Rolex are my value? Who are you? Take some time. Get to understand that. That will allow you the intent to go to the places, to navigate the communities, to understand how to be a part of them, to get away from what so many people are doing, which is ended up moving, selling everything, and end up being lonely abroad. And people are in dire straits. I don't have any community. I don't know what to do. It's just me and my kids, and they getting on my nerves because they don't have anything to do. I know it's tough in the United States, but that is even tougher. You do not have to go through that. So I want to make certain that you guys are at least covered from my end and what it is that I can do and we can do on this platform. I need you guys, if you haven't already, to go to movetravelabroad.com. The early bird tickets are available. General admission, 10 people per day during our 12 days of relocation will receive a complimentary upgrade to their general admission ticket to our VIP admission. We are covering everything that you need to know. Imagine you could spend a Saturday just like this and get the opportunity to start in a situation where I'm not certain of what to do, But by the time you leave, not only be very clear about what it is you need to do, but who it is that is going to help you, how they will be able to help you. The resources will all be brought to you in one particular place, so that way that you don't have to try to figure out what do I do. You just need to go about taking the steps that have been outlined. November 22nd is a couple of weeks away, but it will be here before you know it. You guys will have the ability to get early bird tickets through November 14th. After November 14th, a regular price admission will be there. So please do yourself a favor. This is the cost of about a bag of groceries. Gives you the opportunity to get connected without all the guesswork, without all of these scams, without all of the I'm not certain if this I should be sending my money there. I'm telling you ahead of time, regardless, don't. Don't just send money to people that you don't know because the place looks nice. That is the oldest trick in the book, and people will take advantage of you if you are in a position like you are right now, where everybody can see what's going on in the United States. So when they get these foreigners that are not privy to what goes on in the localized neighborhoods, they're like, some people could take advantage of you. We are trying to do our best to increase the probability of your success for your family, help you build that new legacy. Leave the one behind at home. Like, leave one at home behind. You have no idea who you are and who you can be in such a positive way on the other side of the TSA. I need y'all to make sure you are also doing one last thing. If you are watching a replay of this, make sure you are sharing this with somebody that needs to move abroad. Point them in our direction. Make certain that you guys are also going to movetravelabroad.com, signing up for the newsletter. There it is that you will get not only information, be the first people to know on upcoming conversations, information about the speakers that we'll have, new information that impacts moving abroad, relocation, down to destination, as well as general. But the biggest thing is we present discounts in our newsletter that we do not offer on the web on any of these calls. You have to be a part of the newsletter to be a part of the community. And therein lies your opportunity to see us on the other side of the TSA. I appreciate you guys. 12 days of relocation. We are halfway through. We have made it through day 6. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 7. Stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribing, liking, following. Please comment. Let me know what it is that is on your mind. What things that we have covered that you just want to expound on, or you need some more deep dives into. I do my best to try to serve you guys in a way where it benefits you, the individual, as well as the collective. Let me just make certain I am not missing anybody's comment here that may have commented. Commute time adds up like crazy. Yep, for certain. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all be safe. It's the weekend. The weekend is upon us. Y'all do something fun with whoever it is that you love. I'm going to do the same with my end. And I'll see you tomorrow. Y'all be safe.